This series is intended for mature audiences.
We met this kid who was unfortunately very bullyable. Turns out he was also the chosen of Gigas, which I have a lot of questions about. But I'm not going to lie, I was a little distracted by my new outfit. These runes on my shirt are fucking crazy. And then there was that whole thing in the cave. I don't know why everyone freaks out every time I touch a weird rock. Feels like you guys should just expect that by now.
The Multiverse Collective.
Okay, so after leaving the cave, after this the shadowy mist clears, it's still pretty early in the morning.
Where's Sinnoh Maps taking us, Guinan?
Where is Sinnoh Maps taking us? Guinan will just snap to whatever direction it is that we're supposed to be going.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this feature. This was a bad update.
It was when Brutus touched your head. Before that you were on free roam. Now you're on
on True North mode.
Yeah.
So you're able to keep following the path as you are going up through the mountains. It's a pretty quiet trek. There's not too much going on. Off camera, we went through just a quick training session. So I guess, what does that look like? How are you guys training as you're walking this path?
I think Brick is taking the time to work with Nightshade the Sprigatito to practice some moves, learn new things, maybe fight a couple random wild Pokemon in the way, just to get his confidence up a little bit, because he was a nervous little guy when we saw him first.
Yeah, and I think with Bricks being able to help and to step in to make sure that Nightshade doesn't take too much damage there, you see Nightshade begins to kind of break out of his shell. What did you change the nature to?
Naughty.
Yeah, so I think as Nightshade kind of starts feeling more comfortable, especially outside the Pokeball with Brutus, you can see that Nightshade at one point kind of jumps up into your pack and grabs a berry out of there. Before you're able to do anything, Nightshade is just chowing down.
Oh, looks like he finally came out of his shell a little bit.
Bonus for him. That's a bonus. He was very timid when we first met.
Yes.
I think when I'm training both Sven and Ellie, I'm having Sven do basic strength training. So I'm having him run ahead and then run 100 meters ahead, and until we get up to him, he's got to do sit-ups and push-ups and squats and shit. And then I'm having Ellie do proper ninja training. So if there's vantage points above on the mountain face next to us, I'm right. I'm telling Ellie he has to jump and traverse, but remain hidden. And every now and again, I want him to surprise me, come out of nowhere and make sure I don't detect him when I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I think as the day goes on, Ellie gets better and better at this, and by the end of the afternoon, as you're getting closer to civilization, you're starting to see some more people. You actually notice Ellie doing this kind of hide in the bush. Ellie jumps out and actually startles some passersby as you're going on, and Ellie looks very amused that she was able to take care of that and do that.
Nice.
Guinan, what does your training look like during the day?
So Guinan has Kevin the Sprigatito out. He's just sleeping on the top of her oversized backpack, while she and Joshua are just trying to run up ahead of the group and scrounge around in the bushes and the rocky areas looking for more cool fucking rocks. And she's essentially just building up Joshua's strength because she's making him do all of the digging.
Okay, roll me 2d6, just straight up. I just want to see what happens.
That is an 8.
That's an 8, okay. So near the end of the day, Joshua is he's having a great time, just digging. There's certainly like a trail of holes that are left unfilled, small little divots, like perfectly sized enough for somebody to like get their foot caught in and, fall flat on their face, break their ankle. Real nice, pathing hazard. But near the end of the day, Joshua comes back to you after digging a hole, holding a small stone tablet in his maw.
Joshua, buddy, what is this?
He smiles as he drops it at your feet.
Meh. And Guinan is just gonna grab it and pick it up and inspect it. She's very excited. This is even better than that creepy black stone that she wasn't allowed to take with us earlier.
Yeah, this tablet, as you kind of dust it off, you see that there is a poem on it. And it's definitely older. It's like going back and trying to read written English from the 1700s. So it's mostly legible. It takes you a second, but it is mostly legible.
The spawn of the dealer will break the wheel. Brother and sister, the gap will be closed. War will return, heralding its own demise. The void will then swallow all that remains. A new era will be born from the shadow, molded, crafted, curated, carefully so. Only with true sacrifice can war be thwarted.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Yeah, this seems fine.
No.
I'm not worried about this.
I've not heard. Clyde's not heard this, but
Guinan is very put off. I think she knows exactly what this is, and she does not. She's not pleased that this is what this says. She wanted something cool, not something ominous and depressing.
Joshua looks up expectantly at you.
She gives him a reluctant little pat on the head because she knows he's done a good job, and this is the sort of thing that she wants him to be finding, but this particular thing is not pleasing to her. Especially with the weird punctuation and spelling and capitalization. She doesn't like that. This is not correct.
He is fully rolled over on his belly doing the please hands.
Yes, yeah, she's giving him full belly scritches now. She's set the little stone tablet down on the side, and she's kneeling on the ground in her boxers and her I'm with stupid shirt and is giving her crocodile belly rubs.
Joshua is very happy. So after spending the day walking and training and digging holes in the road, you guys come to a nice clearing where it looks out of the way enough to where you could probably set up camp for the night. You're still a little far away from Kirkeby to the point where you wouldn't be able to make it until probably, if you kept walking, 2 a.m. and nothing good happens after dark.
We should make camp for the night.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, sound. It'd be really great if one of us had a fire-type Pokemon right now, because lighting a fire just does not seem like...
Of all the
It's gonna
people
be
to be able to
fun.
light a fire, Clyde should be able to.
Clyde.
Clyde.
What's all this crazy wilderness training?
I can light a fire, but would it not be... We've got Pokemon now. We may as well utilize them.
I can put out a fire.
Oh yeah, we don't need to put out a fire right now. It's good. I've got to go and find the wood. I've got to make sure it's dry. I've got to set it up. If I had a fire-type Pokemon, I could dry any wood and then throw it in a pile, and it'll be fine. No, I've got to do organizational skills. Right. You guys set up.
Clyde, I'm hearing a lot of talking and not a lot of doing.
Guinan zoned out 3 minutes ago. She's fully just listening to elevator music in her head.
I'm going to send Ellie and Sven to collect firewood.
Yeah, I think as Ellie and Sven go into the brush, you hear a rustling from the other side of the clearing that you're on.
I'll stand up and get into a fucking karate fighting stance.
And I think as you do that, you see two people burst out of the brush. As soon as they see you, Clyde, both of their faces go pale. You recognize these guys, and they both look at you. And one of them is just like, kind of points at you, like with shaky hand. And he's just like, no. That can't be. And the other one just kind of grabs him as they're both running away. And you hear the other guy say, wait, I wrote down the pronunciation of this and I'm still going to fuck it up. But he wrote, as they're running away, he's just like, no, I thought he disappeared. Or Himmelsdrax.
At that, Clyde just sits down, acts like nothing's happened. Just for people listening, Himmelsdrax means the wrath of the sky dragon.
Nice.
And as he sat down, he's going to reminisce on the time he was 14 and he used to be a vigilante back in Stratton camp. And
I want to take this and I want to zoom out. You see, as with other flashbacks, you see the sun set and the moon rise, and we zoom out and we zoom back in onto the forest. We see a 14-year-old Clyde and his father's trusty Floatzel sprinting through the forest. Clyde, what do you and Floatzel look like as you are this vigilante?
Clyde has like a similar get up to what he's got on now, like a cloak and ranger's leathers, but he's got like a bandana on as well around his face so nobody can see properly. And he never normally like goes out of the house with like weapons, but now he has like two he has like a bow staff on his back and then two like what similar, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like the batons with like the hand grip that come off the side, them on his waist. And Floatzel just has like the old school robber fucking mask on. He looks like Swiper from Dora the Explorer.
Floatzel, no floating.
We have a theme, don't we?
So, Clyde, why don't you tell me what this job was supposed to be and how it went horribly wrong?
Okay, so I think that a couple days prior, Clyde was at the market in Stratton camp, and he overheard that like a group of bandits like at the pub that they like frequent, that they were going to be taking on like stealing from like a traveling merchant's like convoy, and like heard where it was going to go down. So Clyde went to take him on. Like he takes Floatzel as like backup. He don't have Floatzel fight because, let's be honest, Floatzel's seen enough shit in his lifetime to be fighting fucking random bandits on the street. And I think everything is going well at first. Clyde jumps out of a tree, starts taking on these bandits, but then I think that like 3 or 4 bandits come and throw Pokeballs out, and all 4 of them have ride-ons.
Okay.
Which is, an insurmountable wall for a 14-year-old to pass.
Sure.
And Clyde just absolutely fucking books it like no man's business. And like even I feel like Floatzel started running before Clyde did. Like, it's serious. If he gets caught by one of them, he's fucked. So he's just he doesn't want to get beat up by these Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. And so you and Floatzel are running, and I think you and Floatzel probably have some sort of like wordless like way of communicating with each other as, in situations like these.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a body language and like a nod and wink sort of, what do you call it, like way of communicating.
So yeah, you nod to Floatzel and you communicate to it that you guys are going to run into the brush and you're going to lose them in the forest. And you assume Floatzel got the message as you take a sharp right turn into some thick brush. And you are running for a good probably 15 seconds until you realize you kind of stop to just see where you're at, and you realize Floatzel's not with you.
Ah, shit. Right, we're fucking shit up. I don't care about myself anymore. I'm gonna run back out onto the main road again and start booking it the way I was running.
So as you get back to the main road, you're able to hear the voices of these bandits, and you are able to hear Floatzel. As you kind of stick your head like out, you notice that Floatzel was caught in a net, and you see these bandits and these Rhydon are just kind of like standing above Floatzel and just kind of like, you know, looking all confident to themselves, like, yeah, we got us. Does Floatzel have a name, or is it just known as like?
I don't know. No, I'm gonna say no. I feel like that he's not really been in battle before. It's just like, it's like a Master Splinter sort of thing. You don't see him really out unless he's really needed.
I got it. So I think these bandits are just like, ha! So we found the Pokemon behind Ordheeman's drugs. Well, if you're out there, Sky Dragon, consider this your wings being clipped. Rhydon, Horndrill.
Oh, right. Okay. As I hear this, I am gonna do a couple things.
Okay.
First things first, I'm gonna pick up some rocks. I feel like I've got semi-pinpoint accuracy with thrown objects from all the training I've done. I'm gonna aim at the temples, at the temple of the trainers, so they get knocked out, and then I'm gonna jump in front of this Rhydon, going to Horndrill, Floatzel, and I'm gonna try and use my bow staff to like flip it as it's coming at me.
So you, from the bushes, you pick up these rocks and you throw 1, 2, 3. These trainers are out. However, these Rhydon, there's 4 of them. And as soon as you throw these rocks, you see one of them is standing over this Floatzel. The other one is kind of, it has its foot on the Floatzel's, like on its throat, basically. And these other 2 Rhydon, before you were able to grab your bow staff, they just kind of tackle you, and you watch as this Rhydon uses Horndrill on Floatzel. And I think after that, they're all kind of happy with themselves. This was what they had come to do.
Oh,
and
fuck.
I think they pick up their trainers and they leave you and Floatzel.
Fuck. This did not go to plan. Right, I am gonna go to Floatzel. I'm gonna check to see if Floatzel's breathing.
You kneel down and pull this net off of Floatzel. You can see that the horn went right through its chest cavity. You can see that it is, I don't even know if you would call it breathing. It is not in good shape. And I think it looks up at you and it very weakly meets your eyes and gives you a very slow nod. And in your head, you are just able to hear, "Not your fault."
Oh, fuck, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, I'm gonna fucking rip the amulet of Rayquaza off my neck. I am gonna grip it tight enough to that my hand starts bleeding. And
Okay.
I'm gonna offer a blood sacrifice to Rayquaza to save Floatzel, because he's the only good thing I've got. I'm gonna pray and be like, I will do anything, and I mean anything. I will be forever in your debt. Just save Floatzel.
You hear a voice of Rayquaza in your head, and you hear it say,
This is a lesson. Be smarter.
Oh, fuck.
Through adversity, you gain strength. Use it. That is my blessing.
and you just feel a rush of wind from behind you.
Oh, fuck, man. Cry? Fuck. Jesus Christ. Survival training doesn't cover holes through chest cavities.
No, this thing is like fully through.
Did I get a good look at the guys' faces? Did I get enough of a look to be able to remember the faces?
Yes. And
okay. I am scheming.
All right. And I think as you see Clyde bent over his father's floatzel, we zoom back out. We return to what is now a roaring fire. And you see Clyde once again.
You just see one tear like roll down Clyde's cheek, but he acts like nothing's happening.
Cernius' antlers, man. That's pretty fucking dark.
How long ago would you say it was that? Okay, I'm gonna retcon something. Can I have Ellie follow the two people that saw me and shit themselves and ran away?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have her follow them. But yeah, as it comes back in, you see Clyde sat at the fire and just a single tear rolls down his face.
Would you still be there when the world falls apart? Would you find me? If this were the end of our love, would you still be there when the world falls apart? Would you find me? The stars burning out and the sun's disappearing. Would I be the one that you call at the end of it all?
He's just gonna stand up and walk in the direction they ran off to meet Ellie.
Yeah, I actually think what happened is, so this only happened in the span of maybe 10 seconds, and Ellie was able to do this ninja training and jumped out in front of them, gave you just enough time to catch up to these two.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of both of them.
Yeah.
No remorse.
Roll me 2d6 plus attack.
That's my good stat. 12. 14.
Okay. Are you trying to keep them alive?
Oh, I'm going to keep them alive, but I'm going to maim them. I'm going to make sure they can't walk and, like, break their hands and do everything imaginable to make their life as painful as possible. But it's just enough so they'll still live.
Okay, yeah, you beat these two guys within an inch of their lives, and you very calmly walk back to the fire.
I just imagine he's like got blood all over him, and he's just
and we heard just like ambient screaming coming from the woods.
I was gonna say this definitely was close enough to where Guinan and Brutus absolutely heard what was going on.
Yeah, while it's happening, Guinan's just like twiddling her thumbs, like, so Brutus.
Brutus is looking at Guinan like, should we help him or stop him? I'm not sure.
I don't think we could, to be honest. I guess you probably could physically, but I would worry about what he would do to you when you were asleep. If you did. So probably better if we just, let him do that.
Clyde comes back a few minutes later, yeah.
Yeah. I'll sit down and be like, acting like nothing's happened.
Clyde,
anybody
great to see you.
Anybody hungry? I don't know why they were talking about the wrath of the sky dragon. Who's that?
Also, Matt, has it been a full day since I pulled my outfit out of my backpack?
It's been 18 hours.
18? Okay.
Nearly there.
Great.
Nearly there. All right. So as the evening goes along, you guys are able to kind of sit down without much more interruption. Make some dinner, set up camp, and get a little comfy.
I just imagine in the background every now and again you just hear like one pained grunt from one of the people in the distance.
Somebody like groans, screaming in the woods. Guinan is just like furiously pretending like it's not happening.
Should we assist them in some way?
Nature is nature is really loud tonight, huh?
Yeah. Oh wow, those Pokemon, they make some weird sounds. Sure do. This is nice, guys. This is so nice. I don't fear for my life at all.
Good. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, nothing.
So later on in the evening, the moon is now up. And as you guys are sitting, talking, Brutus, you are mid-sentence when in the distance you hear the shrill cry of a braviary. Not that braviary, just a braviary, but they sound similar enough to where you can tell what it is.
Another one.
Another what?
Another one of those demons we saw in the darkness.
Clyde stands up and cracks his knuckles. No, for fuck's sake.
I don't think it's safe out here.
It's not coming for us. It would have if it was going to.
Clyde sits back down. Would you like to elaborate?
I suppose I probably should. Several months ago, I lost my partner Mix.
And we see the scene starts like rippling until it comes back. And I think we see Brutus and Mix, now a Machamp, back to back in the middle of a crowd of Pokemon that are all darker than normal, have glowing red eyes, and are just coming at them. But Brutus and Mix fighting back to back, just punching and kicking and just absolutely being tanks.
Yeah, they're setting each other up for punches. Machamp's got 4 arms, so it's punching basically every direction that Brutus doesn't exist. And they're just holding these things off.
Yeah, and you see this like shadowy Weavile jump out at you, Brutus, from your blind side, but a fist very quickly sends it flying, and you look back, and Mix just quickly nods at you before going back to what he was doing.
Oh yeah. No doubt that was not going to be an issue.
As you guys are fighting this, you see in the sky this titanic beast of a bird Pokemon. Again, same thing, this dark, almost black, glassy body, these glowing eyes. And I mean, every time it flaps its wings, you and Mix both struggle to keep your footing. And it just looks at you and says,
"You fought well, but this is where you die."
So I think Mix grabs like this last, I don't know, like a sand troop, jumping at it and just fucking hurls it off into the distance. And Brutus and Mix sort of face off on this giant bird. And not good, Mix. We need to get out of here. I don't think we can take that one. So Mix and the Shadow Lugia basically clash in a fight that so the Lugia hits it with a like an arrow blast, sends Mix flying. He recovers off a tree and flies back, grabs it by the wings and slams it into the ground, and ground and pound, gets away, psychic blast. It's not going well. I mean, this is a shadowed legendary creature.
And I think as you and Mix, I think this first arrow blast, Brutus, it kind of sends you flying back. Your head hits a tree and you see spots for a second. It takes you a second to get up as you're watching this. And after this one kind of, this second or third psychic blast that hits Mix, he kind of slides back and he does that cool like hero pose where he has like 3 arms ready to go, both feet, and then his 4th fist kind of on the ground, sliding back towards you. He looks at you and he motions over to the path that you guys came from.
Yeah. Brutus, he looks and he understands and he knows that there's really not a whole lot he can do about it at the moment because he's just a man, no matter how strong he is. And he goes, "Give him hell, Mix." As he turns and runs, and I had this cool vision of Mix, like he jumps up, seismic tosses the Lugia into the ground, jumps down with two of his arms on each wing, just like basically holds him into a body press long enough for Brutus to get away. And as Brutus is running, he looks back over his shoulder and he sees this Lugia get free and just hit him with a psychic blast.
Yeah. I imagine you're fighting like in kind of like a canyon, I'm imagining, and you guys are like on the top of the canyon. You see Mix do this like seismic toss, like circling corkscrew. Lugia hits the ground head first. You see as you're running away, it flashes back to Mix, and you see Mix very slowly and shakily get up to its feet as the Lugia shakes itself off and flaps its wings back up. And the last thing that you see, Brutus, as you're running away is this final blast of just an immense amount of psychic energy.
I think the psychic blast was so big that it knocked Brutus out, even though he was so far away.
I dig
so
it.
he didn't.
Yeah.
So he didn't see him until he woke back up later.
I imagine it was like the power of like a mini nuke almost.
Yeah.
And I think when Brutus wakes up, Lugia is gone. He sprints over to the edge of the canyon, and in the morning sun, he just sees nothing.
Yeah.
I'll be a whiskey baby, stone cold. Oh, Mother Mary, save me. It's a smoking gun, the sweetest, softest killer. It ain't for everyone. Honey, love a thriller. I'm looking up to the stars to tell me what to do. God knows it's the ancient law. It whispers it takes two. He's my scarlet letter, held forever my vendetta. Said he'll be mine forever, but only in the fairest weather. It pulled me under, caught me at just the right time. As it got stronger, I started losing my mind. But if you asked me if I do it again, I'd tell you, baby, there's nothing worse or better than my desperado. I'll be a whiskey baby, stone cold lover. Oh, Mother Mary, save me. It's a smoking gun, the sweetest, softest killer. It ain't for everyone. Honey, love a thriller. Oh, holy water, make me clean again. Open up my heart and release this man. It's got a hold on me. Only thing that makes me crazy. My enemy, my friend. Tell me you understand. There's nothing worse or better than love. My desperado, I'll be a whiskey baby, stone cold. Oh, Mother Mary, save me. It's a smoking gun, the sweetest, softest killer. It ain't for everyone. Honey, love a thriller.
So, in conclusion, I need to kill a god.
Oh, is that all?
Pretty much.
At least we know you didn't murder Mix now.
Yeah,
Me and
that
Guinan
is.
were quite worried about
That
that.
is
I was getting
reassuring.
really sick of you accusing me of killing my best friend.
We had never said anything to your face about it. It was a private worry, and I'm sorry. I would like to apologize from the bottom of my heart for having any doubts. about what you did or didn't do to your Pokemon. I'm sorry that happened, Brutus.
I am also sorry. I don't know how you're gonna kill a god, though.
He looks at Brick. We'll get him.
The tiny Squirtle is gonna.
This is why we train, Clyde. This is why we train.
Hey,
this
man,
is why we don't take our small Pokemon and go directly to the 9 hells.
Hey man, I got taught to throw hands and take beating, and that's about it. Like,
yeah, I'm strong, but I'd rather fight smart.
That's an option. What?
Guinan is once again cradling her head in her hands.
Bro, my dad sent me off and was like, use the skills I have taught you, my son, and you will find the right way in the world.
Your dad was a dick.
We've covered this.
Yes.
Okay. But my thought was that I was just going to go to 9 hells. I was just going to throw some hands with some demons. I was going to find Weth. I was going to smack the shit out of her. And I was going to come home, be a hero, and be hailed as a hero. But now you're telling me I have to use my brain?
Usually.
Clyde's going to look at Guinan and be like, you good?
Yeah, great. Thank you for asking. So good. Those were both very dark stories, guys. I am sorry about everything that's happened to both of you. Wow.
It is what it is.
I don't know how to respond to that in a way that's healthy. I just want you to know I'm here for you, and I'm worried about you, and
Big Preach fam.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I play Clyde and I'm worried about him.
You did this to you.
Honestly, why did I make...
In multiple ways, you did this to you.
Why did I make all 3 of my characters just emotionally damaged men?
I don't know, man. We're working through some shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. You don't want to know what I'm working through with Guinan.
Speaking of Guinan, Riley told me that she had a story she wanted to tell.
That's worked so well.
That's all I got.
And I'm so glad you're going third again.
Guinan's gonna clap her hands together and be like, so on the back end of those depressing stories, I'll tell you a less depressing story. It's really funny. It's my most embarrassing moment. This normally makes people laugh. So this will fix us, I think, as a group.
Can't fix what's not broken.
Yes. And I think with that, we find Guinan and her family walking down the main road in Kirkby, which I don't think either of you would be too familiar with, but it is the religious capital of our beautiful Norse Sinnoh land. And I think they're in a sort of a higher end district. I don't quite know what they've been doing. Maybe God could shed some light on that. Sorry, Arceus could shed some light on that.
By they, like the whole family? Like, what do we...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is, you and your dad and your mom and your brother, you guys, every now and again, you'll go out into town. And I think you guys you would think that with all of the money that your family has, you would think that the people of Kirkby would welcome them with open arms, but usually people stay quite far from your little group.
Yeah, and Guinan's never quite understood why. I mean, she's, getting old enough to understand, but I think she's only like 14 right now when we find her. And that's not quite old enough to understand the atrocities or, anything overwhelming that her family is responsible for. And they typically just stay at their manor, Dragsalm, and they don't really leave. unless they need something from someone. And, her mother brought the whole family into Kirkeby, which is, an unusual occurrence for all 4 of them to go together. Typically, at least someone is back at the manor, but this was nice. It was supposed to be a family vacation.
Yeah, and I think one reason why you don't go out as a family is because of your little brother, Axel. So as you guys are like walking down the road, how old would you say Axel is at this point in time?
Probably like 10, 9 or 10.
10? Okay. I think Axel is just like talking to your mom, and is just very like, among other things, he is a tattletale. And so I think he is, you hear him kind of, he tugs on your mom's sleeve, and he's just like, well, did you know that the other day I caught Guinan in the kitchen sneaking sweets? What are you going to do about it?
Guinan really, really wants to smack him upside the back of the head, but she just knows that he'll tattle on her again, and she's like physically restraining herself from beating the shit out of this little asshole in the streets of Kirkeby in front of all these priests. And
your mom is just like, Axel, not now. I'll deal with it when we get home or whatever. I don't know. Not now. Mommy's busy. She's looking at stuff. And you see your dad. You can tell that if it was possible for your mother to have favorites, I guess Axel would be the favorite, but I don't really think she likes kids.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely doesn't like kids. The fact that she has 2 is really an accident and is not something that she intended to have happen. But here we are. But Axel is definitely the favorite. I mean, he's good at stuff in a way that Guinan's not good at stuff. Guinan's odd, and Axel is charismatic and likable, other than the fact that he's a fucking tattletale and a little bitch.
Not only that, but Axel is especially competent at Pokemon training, to the point where as a 10-year-old, he has like 3 Pokemon, 2 of which have evolved. And I think because Axel is such a prodigy, I think Guinan, your dad, gravitates more towards you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's just kind of like he's just kind of like a regular dude. He's definitely the kind of guy who's like, well, I very easily could have just fucked off, but like, I love you, and I guess I love Axel, so I'm here. And so I think he looks down and he's just like, Axel, we don't need to tattletale. I told Guinan to go get herself an extra sweet from the kitchen because she's had a hard day. And I think Axel is just like, Guinan wouldn't know a hard day if it cracked her in the back of the head. What does she even do? She just sits around. She doesn't even have Pokemon. I have 4 of them.
3, bitch.
No.
Sorry, language.
I'll have you know that the other day I was out in the manor and I caught myself another Pokemon.
What'd you catch, Axel?
Well, I could tell you, but you wouldn't even know what it is. Can you even name like 4 Pokemon?
That's because it's not real, Axel. You're just making it up to try and seem better than you are. You don't have to show me up. Mom already knows you're better than me at this.
And I think that is like the one thing where Axel is like, he doesn't know what to do when you hit him with that like self-deprecation. He's just like, no, that's my job to do. No, you took that away from me. And I think you break his brain for a second, and your mom just kind of looks down and is like, Axel, can you just please, for the love of Arceus, shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. I don't care at this moment. I don't care about how many Pokemon you have or you've caught, real or fake. I had a long night and my head is pounding. And Axel just kind of like crosses his arms and he's just like, you have a long night every night. And kind of like kicks the ground.
And Guinan gets up behind him, attempting to taunt him, and she's not watching where she's going at all.
Yeah, and I think Axel flips around. He senses your presence, and he's about to like shove you until Guinan, you look down, and you have been standing over an open manhole for a few seconds now.
Yeah, left leg goes in, right leg stays up, and dinner runs through a girl real fast when she's scared. It's a bad scene. It's a real bad scene. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and we're in public, and they don't like us here in town, and I don't know where I'm gonna get a new pair of pants. And why does this keep happening to me?
And I think at this point, it just all chaos breaks loose, and Axel just he's falling on the ground laughing. And your mother is just like, dear fucking God, can we have one family outing where we don't have bodily fluids all over multiple of us? And you see Guinan's dad just trying to like, oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, Guinan is half in, half out of the manhole, sobbing uncontrollably.
Oh, child. Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back. And he runs over to like the nearest like store, and you see a couple of priests that are just like walking by, and these are priests of like all different kinds of faiths. Kirkeby is the place where everybody gets together to come together and to pray and to discuss. So everybody's like very tolerant. But these two priests, one of them is wearing like the ceremonial robes of Rayquaza, and one of them is wearing the ceremonial robes of one half is Dialga, one half is Palkia. As they are the two brothers, they're kind of like one religion. So, they're having like a nice lively chat, and one of them just kind of like sniffs and like scrunches his nose and looks at this fucking scene. And they both just kind of like turn up their nose, and they're just like, of course it would be them. Why do they keep coming here?
And Guinan attempts to fish herself out of the manhole.
And as you are pulling yourself out of the manhole, we ripple back into the fire here.
And Guinan claps her hands. Right, guys? So funny.
Well, on the plus side, this one at least had some symmetry with the lack of pants.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great. That was like top 5 best family outings. Are you fucking kidding?
I'm gonna look at Brutus and be like, I thought my family outings were bad, but shitting yourself in a manhole cover, like falling through a manhole cover and shitting yourself being one of the top 5 doesn't seem like.
Yeah, that's
And why was your mum being a bitch? Like, you just fell through a hole and like.
Oh, she was hungover. She's always hungover. That's like her thing.
That's same. My dad was always hungover. We've got something in common.
Hey! And Guinan tries to high five Clyde.
Yeah, which is too far. Clyde looks at his hand and Clyde looks at his hand and he's still covered in blood and he goes, yeah, no, maybe not.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Are you sure you're okay? Like.
Yeah, that was supposed to lighten the mood, guys. Like, you both told really depressing stories. I told a funny one.
It was funny, but the face you made when you were telling that story, you could tell there was pain. Like your dad seems like a cool guy. You went and bought your pants. Your little brother and your mum. Right, dickheads.
Yeah, I mean Axel's kind of a little shit, but you know he's my little brother, so I care about him.
He seems very punchable.
Yes, that's the word. He's very punchable.
I think as you guys are discussing, you hear footsteps coming down the path, not through the bushes, but just like out in the open through the same kind of path that you took to get to this clearing from the main road. And Guinan, you recognize this guy immediately. He is one of the like couriers of Dragsholm, and he's wearing like a tunic that has like the colors of Dragsholm on it, and he's wearing this like the beret thing.
Oh yeah. My mom makes him wear this dumbest little fucking outfits.
Like a medieval times bugle boy.
Yeah.
And
he has
like,
the
pulls
short
out a
pantaloons too. Like
Yep.
they're really short. They're like mid-thigh pantaloons. He's like
Yeah,
the medieval
and-
version of a pool boy for my mom.
And he has like the jester shoes that like jingle when he walks.
Yeah.
Brutus sees this guy and he looks at Clyde and goes, "Is this another one of the guys you're gonna beat up? I might join you on this one."
No, but he looks like he needs a punch. Whoever let him go out of the house like that also needs a punch.
Clyde, he just stares you right in the eye and he's just like, "More than you know." And then he just sighs very deeply, pulls out a scroll, and unfurls it, and he's just like,
Yeah, before he even speaks, Guinan is like visibly grimacing. Like
We all are.
she knows it's gonna be bad.
"The Duchess of Dragsholm requests the presence of one Guinan, Brutus, and Clyde at the Mistress's Manor tomorrow afternoon for..." She didn't say what for, but she told me that it was important. And he like rolls up the scroll, sticks it back, and he's just like, "They didn't even give me a fucking Pokemon. I have to walk back."
She made you
It's the middle of
walk
the night.
here
I
in
have to
those shoes all the way with the little jingly bells.
Did they pay you?
Oh,
I'm gonna
Oh.
throw the guy $50 Poké.
Before you leave, I need a better pair of pants. I'm taking yours.
I'm gonna stop her and be like, "Guinan, you can't just take this guy's pants."
He's my. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
he sighs. Clyde, he just looks at you and he's just like, "I need this more than you know, God." And he's just like, "Yes, anything for the junior mistress." And he hands you his pants.
No.
I'm gonna spin round and look at Guinan and just be like, "Junior mistress?"
And that's where we'll end our session.